I'll talk about some of these issues. What reasons have motivated you to run for office? Well, anybody who knows I've been around and watched the city council for a number of years. I think the biggest thing is living in the city of Port Huron since 1967 is the deterioration of our neighborhoods, our property values, and the one-way tickets that we're getting from Section 8 from Detroit and Flint. I think till we change these things around, we're not going anyplace. My neighborhood, the amount of crime over the years has been phenomenal. We've had our ups and downs, but it's not unusual. Just 3 weeks ago, we had a shooting over on Gordon Street, which is five blocks from where I live. That didn't even make the newspaper. I mean, it's really sad that we are not promoting it. John Brown, years ago, when he reported for the Port Huron Times-Herald, he went down to the police department, found out everything that happened every day, and it was reported on it. And I think that's a good thing because people need to communicate and they can decide, is this a problem or isn't it a problem? The ideas for bringing back Port Huron to fiscal stability and health. My big thing would be the fact that I don't know why we never chased it. Port Huron Township, Fort Gratiot Township, all have recruited the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department for road patrols and that type of thing. I don't know why the city of Port Huron never competed for that. I think that would give us more officers. I think we could cover more area, and I think we could do it just as cheap or cheaper than the St. Clair County. I think we missed the boat on that one, and I still do. The other issue with that, the other thing I think that's really serious and what we have to look at in the budget, and I've said the same thing at coming meetings, we have to separate mandated services from non-mandated services. We spend a lot of money on non-mandated services, and I think they shouldn't be considered until we have to get everything done that is mandated. What do you feel are the mistakes, if any, made by council? I know this is going to get me a lot of flack and probably a few phone calls and things like that, but I think we've made a lot of mistakes in the selection of our city manager. I think we have to find a city manager that's compatible with the city of Port Huron. I think the city manager should be rewarded for what they do. My idea is to get somebody young, somebody that's talented, that has very minimal background, but has some degrees in politics, which there's a lot to do with city manager politics. I think he has to have accounting skills. I think he has to have finance skills. And my goal would be start this guy out at $50,000 a year and tell him, okay, here's your goals. You accomplish this goal, you're going to go to $60,000 a year. You count goal number 2, and you go on and you're going to get $70,000 a year. These goals aren't going to be artificial or fictitious, but I think we have to have goals for a city manager. What would you make city managers more accountable to citizens? What kind of accessibility would you use to communicate with them? Number one, I think, and I know my fellow council members, if I get on council, might not like one of the ideas, but I really think that, like Mrs. Enright addresses the council at many council meetings, and there's several other people that come here. I think that we owe them some time after the meeting before it's called out of order and respond to these people. We don't normally do it. Council doesn't normally do it during the meeting. But I really think that we have to communicate with them. And if it takes 15 minutes longer to run a city council meeting, so be it. We got the feelings of our constituents. My other thing, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and I know it might not well. I think every council member should spend time with this different city department. There's a lot of council members up here that have no idea what the cemeteries worker do, the street department, planning department. I mean, there's a lot of things that people don't realize. And the city of Port Huron has got some departments and some department heads that excel at what they do, and they're phenomenal. But I actually believe that in the city of Port Huron, we have some department heads that maybe could do better, and we have some employees in departments that also could do better. I think that's one of the things that we have to create. The other thing here, it says Port Huron has city income tax not shared by surrounding communities and higher property taxes than most. It's interesting, and I don't know how we manage money, but Kimball Township, not too many years ago, built a $1 million building, and how'd they do it? With water funds. Isn't that amazing? They built a $1 million building with water funds, and we raise our water and sewer rates to just survive in the city of Port Huron. I hate to say we have to go back to a township and find out what they're doing right and what we're doing wrong, but I think we have to take a look at that. Port Huron, we're not facing the current fiscal and economic crisis. What would your aspirations and goal be? I think we have to make people want to come here. I think we have to separate our social, economic cities of the Port Huron and make them one. I don't have a problem that the predominantly people in the North End are more financially stable than I am. I don't have a problem that some of the other areas don't have as much as I do. But I think that the problem is we have to get rid of this social-economic competition that we have in the city of Port Huron. And I think what happens, that creates a divide, and the divide is shown in the voting, which is going to tell the city or this council candidates is the fact that you look at the north end of town, set precincts 1, 2, and 3 vote 20 to 23% in the city election. Precinct 10, the south end of town, votes 5%. Until we change the social-economic plan, this is not going to end what we're doing. And I guess the last thing that I really have a problem, and I think everybody in you recognize, is the fact that today this is a what about me country. And until we get rid of that syndrome, we're not going to go very far. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the audience? Yes.
I'm not aware of what's going on as far as what seats are available, and for the new faces, are you competing for the faces that have already been on city council or not? And if you're going for their seat, what is it that they haven't done right, where they should have voted no or they voted yes? I mean, I don't understand why it is that if these people that I guess Sherry and Brian are already city council members, what is it that you're going to bring to the table differently that they already have? I understand that Brian and Sherry probably said no to some of those stupid things that you guys are talking about spending money wrongly and the thing about the YMCA into a aquarium and some of these other things about how money is being spent wrongly. But if they've already were on the right side of that position, why would we go to elect a new face?
Well, I think the first thing off is, number one, like you say, there is some disagreement, and I guess that's one of the reasons that you're on the city council. But you know, there's a number of things. When I think some of the incumbents right now probably support my position, is the fact that when we had Port Huron Building Supply, which uses an abnormal amount of money, or water, excuse me, to provide their service, and this water does not go down into our sewer system. It basically goes in the storm and stuff. And the fact is that we, city council, could not find a way to help him to get his costs down. And I just think that we have to be more proactive. If we have to take our city attorney and find some way to get around it and get this gentleman some water service, I think then we have to do it. And that's just one of the simple things. I mean, maybe there's not a true answer to it, but that's what it's all about. And I'll tell you one thing we're not doing for it is the money.